Greetings, fellow makers! This is the real Melky. Welcome back to my factory. Today we are continuing our work on the Epyon Gundam. We're going to be making the arm unit, the entire arm unit, the shoulder, the upper arm, bicep cover guard thingy, and the gauntlet, as well as all the decorative pieces in here. We got this thing, we got this thing, we got this thing, these triangular bevel thingies, all kinds of fun stuff. So, let's get started, shall we? Gonna need some stuff for this project, like all other projects. You will need, well, I will be using 4mm, 8mm, and 6mm EVA foam. I'll also be used a Sharpie to trace them out, an Exacto knife, a box cutter, and while it's not exactly necessary, a bevel cutter will be extremely helpful to you. You'll also need a heat gun, a rotary tool of some sort, and contact cement to glue it all together. Since we're using contact cement, we'll be using a respirator. Also, we'll be using a dust mask for when we're using our rotary tool. I might break out the bandsaw for this, I don't know. Haven't really decided yet. You also need a face shield, as well as your pattern pieces so you know what to cut out. Alright, let's get started, shall we? Something else that will be extremely helpful. Something to drink to keep you hydrated. Although not necessarily needed for the build process, good policy for everyday life, as well as music. However, I can't really play music on this YouTube channel. Sorry about that. But you decide what music you want to listen to while you're building, and listen to it. All right. Before you start cutting out your foam, you want to heat seal it first. This is just so much better than trying to heat seal everything after you cut it out. Now, when you're dealing with the thicker foam, like the 6 and 8mm, you can afford to go a little bit slower. But at the same time, you don't want to go too slow or keep the heat gun in the same place for too long, because that will burn your foam. You don't want to do that. You want to just seal the top layers of your foam. Like that. And I know it's hard to see on camera, but this is sealed. This is not. So I'm going to go ahead and seal the rest of this foam. Okay, we're going to start with the gauntlet. So here we go. Now, I did just sharpen this knife, and it's already getting dull, so that tells you how quickly foam will dull a blade. So, I'm going to go ahead and resharpen this and continue. What I like to do when I'm cutting out darts is start at the inside corner, right here. Gradually work my blade all the way through until I know it's making contact with the cutting mat, like that. and then just pull through like that. And then we're going to do the same thing. And I will clean this up with the rotary tool. And yeah. Okay, normally it takes this contact cement about 5 to 10 minutes to dry. Or if you look at it and it's not shiny anymore, it is ready to go. Like that. That is ready to go. So is this. Oh, not quite, but this part is. So I'm going to connect these pieces together. Using my finger to make sure the edges stay nice and flush. Like that. And I'm going to attach the other pieces together the same way. Alright. The glue on the darts has dried, and it's time to close them, which is going to give us this nice little rounded, curved shape thing that we want. So just like you're working with other contact cement, just slowly push the edges together. And now it will look like this until the end of time. And now I can heat treat this a little bit to curve it, bend it a little bit. But if I do that, these seams, these darts could open up. So I'm going to wait until the contact cement has had some time to cure. I set the gauntlet pieces aside. Now it is time to cut out the bicep guard and shoulder thingy. So here we go. Now I realize these shapes look a little bit weird. They're not quite straight. They're just weird. But when I glue them together, they will look awesome. This is kind of one of those trust the process things. Cutting out my darts. Just like with the gauntlet piece. But the bicep guards are going to be all 6mm foam. Which makes it a little bit easier to cut through. Also easier to shape. And easier to wear because it's that much lighter and a little bit more flexible. Okay, pieces for the bicep guard are all cut out. And edges look pretty good. Except for this right here. But I'm going to go over the entire thing with the rotary tool after I've glued everything together. Starting with the darts. Okay, now we're going to set that aside, wait for it to dry. And now, the little trick I can do, because I have a bandsaw, I can just glue these two pieces together and then cut this out. And the part will look, and we'll get nice even cuts all the way around. Like where I want to add the glue. And if it goes over this line, it's not that big a deal, because that is going to get cut away anyway. Just don't want it to cross this line, or this line, or this line, or this line. A little bit over right there. So I'm going to try to wipe that away while I can. Like that. Okay, that's done. And now we apply glue here. Okay. And now I can set these pieces aside to dry. And move on to pieces 2 and 3. Contact cement on edges A have dried. And now it's time to put them together. So again, line up your registration marks like this. And really all you need is that first one. And then just roll the pieces together. Keeping your edges nice and flush. Like that. It's actually been a day since I made this, which means this glue has had plenty of time to cure. So now I'm going to heat it up and do some curling and shaping and whatnot. So here we go. Because this is 8mm foam, it's going to take a bit more heat to make it bendable. So just keep the heat gun moving, and yeah, once the foam gets nice and warm, I'll be able to fold it, to kind of bend it, curl it around either my arm or something like that. Maybe my mannequin's arm, I don't know. Alright, let's give this a try. Yep, And now we just hold it like this for a while until it cools down. When it cools down, it will just hold its shape. Not completely like this, but it won't go back to being flat either. So, as you can see, it has a nice curl now. Set this at the side and do the same thing to these two pieces. Alright, contact cement has been applied and it's dried. I did not mean to rhyme. And now we can attach things. I'm going to start with decorative 1. That's going to go right here. So to do that, I'll start at the middle. Normally I start at one of the ends, but this is a little bit different. Because these decorative pieces not only add some dimensionality to it, but they will help the main piece hold its shape. Like that. Now the shoulder pad thingy is one of the complicated pieces. I know it looks simple here, but there's actually a lot going on, which I will show you. I'm going to start with the 4mm pieces, cut these out, glue them together, then add the 6mm pieces over top of the 4mm pieces, like I did right here. And then I'll add the 8mm decorative pieces. That's this right here. And I'll figure out the triangular pieces too. So, here we go. Okay. So, I have applied glue to pieces 1, 3, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we attach them together. Like this. Going to line up the inside edges, that's edges B and D right here. And I did it again. Okay, we'll do this one. And now we fold the edges together, like that. Alright, I have attached pieces 1 and 3 together, as well as pieces 2 and 4. Now, we're going to attach these pieces to these pieces. And we're going to do that the same way we attach the other pieces together. Line up my edges and slowly fold the pieces together. Okay, now we're going to add pieces 5 and 6 to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like this. We're just going to connect our edges just like so. Like a funky little box thing. Like that. And now we're going to close it up by doing the same thing on the other side. And I can trim this away later. All right. Now, what we're going to do is attach pieces 7 and 8 together, like this. And then attach these pieces to these pieces right here. We're going to do that by lining up our edges right here, like so. And it's okay if it's not perfect because I'm going to skin these with some 6mm foam. You might be wondering why I didn't make these pieces out of 6mm and then make the other pieces out of 4mm. That is because I need to burn some details into the shoulder pieces. And it's hard to do that with 4mm foam. Also, I didn't want these pieces to be made out of 6mm foam because that would make it a little bit too heavy, too difficult to deal with. So I decided on 4mm foam. And this is what happens when we don't line up the corners properly. great thing about foam is it is very forgiving. So if you make a mistake, you can go back and fix it, which I've had to do many times. Alright, so I've already applied the 6mm foam to this side, and I put down some glue, did the same to this 6mm foam, and now it's time to attach things. The best way I've noticed, my personal experience, is to attach the top edge first and then work our way down. Like this. And that rustling you hear is my cat Scar, because he's in here now. Alright, and now we're going to push the pieces together.
Another lizard? Good grief.
And that's my dad.
Oh, hi.
Alright. Well, you weren't watching. I have done some rotary tool work and some more gluing, and now it's time to attach the decorative pieces. So, here we go. This one I'm going to start at this corner and put it right here so that this edge lines up with this. Just like that. And it did have to stretch the foam a little bit, but that will help the entire shoulder piece keep its shape, which is kind of what I was going for. Alright. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side with this piece. Line up that corner, right edge, just like that. Then push these two corners together. And now we rinse and repeat. And so you can actually see what I'm doing. Attach the corner. And there we go. Push all the edges together. And now we attach the third piece. That's this piece, and it's going to go right here. this is 6mm foam, and this is 8mm foam. I did it that way because I want a little bit of dimensionality to add to it. Just like that. And now we do it again. Ta-da! And now we have a shoulder pad thingy. I still have to do a lot of trim work around here and add the triangular bevel, well, the triangular dowel pieces here or something. But I will do that later. So, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share if you want. Also, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I will be happy to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And I will see you in